Good morning. Welcome to Conservatively Speaking. I'm Joe Mangiacotti. We have a great show lined up for you today. First Saturday of 2019, first show of 2019. So we begin a new year. It was a year ago this week that Conservatively Speaking went forward with me as solo host. Mike Wade retired in December of 2017. So 2018 was just Joe Mangiacotti at the helm of the, now in our 12th year, Conservatively Speaking. So excited for that. Year two as single solo host, but 12th year for Conservatively Speaking. In the second hour today, Senator Mike Moore will join us as he does the first Saturday of every month for Politically Speaking. We'll learn what's going on Beacon Hill, and the senator will talk about the legislations that he has written, sponsored, endorsing, and what is going on in Beacon Hill. And that's your opportunity to begin to what is happening on Beacon Hill at 508-871-7000. But before we get to hour two, there is hour one, and we'll be talking mostly about the wall. We'll be talking about immigration, and we'll be talking about day 15 of the federal government shutdown. Whose fault is it? And does it matter whose fault it is? How is this going to get resolved? Look, as far as I'm concerned, this is worse than an elementary school tiff at the sandbox. It is an argument over semantics. Every one of the major players who opposes the wall have, at one time or another, voted for a wall and voted for border security. We have the biggest opponents of the wall talking about how illegal immigrants cannot pour into the country and that the wall is necessary in border security. And really, I'm sorry, a wall is a wall is a wall. And then when you get to the semantics of whether it's made out of concrete or steel or whatever it is, I don't care if it's matchboxes, it's a wall. And the concept is border security. And we know that we're not going to have a 2,200-mile chain link fence, okay? It's going to be a combination of metal, slats, concrete, natural barriers, patrolled areas, drones, whatever it is. The point is, the economic balance sheet says that whatever the cost of the wall, $5 billion, I don't care if it was $10 or $20 billion, okay? The conservative estimates of what illegal immigration is costing this country is about 110 to 120 billion with a B. So the bottom line is it's not about the money. Just not about the money. It is about the left, okay? The Democrats who are far, and here's another thing we're going to talk about. See, we group Democrats and left into this one group, and I firmly believe, and I really hope this is true, that there are a lot of level-headed, moderate, reasonable Democrats out there. Okay, so we'll come up with another name when we're talking about the extreme, just like they do for the extreme right and the extreme conservative. And I don't equate right and conservative, by the way, but that's a whole nother discussion. The point is that these people who are opposing it so vocally today have all supported it at one point or another. They're on record as saying that you can't illegally enter this country. And that's what we're talking about. For the umpteenth millionth time, man, I am saying it again and again and again. Do not equate immigrant with illegal immigrant with illegal alien. They are not the same thing and therefore should never be clumped together and or treated the same way. So we will be talking about the wall and the government shutdown, and you could go back and forth about this shutdown and get into the petty things about the pays and the this, and yeah, Pelosi is flying around on taxpayers' money during the shutdown. We've got federal employees about to get raises. She's in Hawaii. Trump was in Washington, D.C. working. He's getting criticized for it, and then he makes a surprise visit to see the troops over the holiday. And guess what? That wasn't because of the criticism. A president doesn't make a secret trip to the Middle East in the last moment. Okay, that was planned out months and months in advance, just like George Bush did it when he did that on I think it was Christmas during his presidency. Point is, shutdown, wall, immigration, all up in hour one. Charlie Baker took oath as governor for the second term in the Commonwealth. His pay shoots up to something like $250,000. He gets, I think, a $65,000 a year housing allowance. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't you like to get that? So that will all be on tap. 508-871-7000. Outward Joe at 6:30. This week we take a look at the Wonder Bar on Shrewsbury Street. And at 7:30, Handling Change. And we're going to hear from Dan and Chris Murray from the Daniel W. Murray Law Office. And we're going to talk a little bit about elder care planning and wills and how important it is to have a will and your wishes in place before you're either incapacitated, can't make those decisions with a full set of faculties, and that's so important. So that's at 7:30. Follow us on social media at Your Right Talk. Check us out on the World Wide Web at yourrightalk.com, and follow Handling Change at Talking Change for You and Outward Joe at Outward Joe. I'm Joe Mandricotti, and we'll see you on the radio.